They said Shadore Sanders was nothing more than a late-round flyer, a flashy name from a highlight reel college career that wouldn't translate to the unforgiving grind of the NFL. They called him a fifth-round experiment, a marketing tool in cleats, a quarterback who would disappear into the depth chart before the season even began. But today in Cleveland, that entire narrative exploded. This wasn't hype. This wasn't luck. This was the first public glimpse of a rookie who refuses to be buried, and it shook the Browns facility to its core. On day 5 of training camp, with the summer heat pressing down and the pads finally popping, Shedeur took the field like it was his stage, and then stole the show. 9 passes, 9 completions, 2 touchdowns. Not just any touchdowns, the only touchdowns of the entire day. The ball never touched the ground when it left his hand. No panic, no hesitation. Just clean, precise execution that had veterans, coaches, and fans locked on him like he was already the face of the franchise. It wasn't simply the numbers, it was the way he played, the control in the pocket, the ability to manipulate defenders with his eyes, the connection with rookie receiver Gage Laverdane as if they'd been running routes together for years. He didn't flinch under pressure, he embraced it. This wasn't a backup quarterback getting lucky. This was a leader announcing himself. And if you think the league still has time to sleep on Shadore Sanders, you're wrong. The moment you see a rookie quarterback earning the silent respect of a player like Myles Garrett without exchanging a single word, you know you're watching something bigger than just a good day at camp. Cleveland didn't just see a breakout, they saw a power shift. From the day he was drafted, the NFL seemed determined to treat Shedeur as a footnote. They ignored his dominance at Jackson State. They dismissed his composure at Colorado. They acted like he hadn't already carried an entire college program on his shoulders. And when he arrived in Cleveland, the team still funneled reps to Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and Kenny Pickett, while Shadore's throws went to, literally, equipment managers in hoodies. Not even backup receivers, not even practice squad players, equipment managers. And somehow, the media spun that as a reflection of him, instead of the system refusing to give him a fair shot. But Shedeur didn't complain. He didn't call out the coaches. He kept his head down and worked. While the rest of the quarterback room cycled through padded reps and post-practice interviews, he was in the shadows, studying film, fine-tuning his footwork, waiting for that one crack in the system to open. That crack came the moment Kenny Pickett was sidelined with injury. Suddenly, Shedeur was running with the second team, and the energy, different. The rhythm, different. For the first time in camp, he wasn't being ignored. He was being watched and feared. The throw that changed everything came in the middle of an otherwise routine drill. Pressure coming. Defender draped on his target, barely a sliver of space to fit the football. And yet, Shadore dropped it perfectly into Gage Laverdane's hands, threading the needle with just enough velocity to beat the coverage and just enough touch to make it look effortless. That pass didn't just hit, it landed like a statement. The sideline went quiet for a moment. Not the kind of quiet you get from boredom, but the kind that comes when people realize they just saw something they weren't ready to see. Reporters scrambled to jot it down. Coaches exchanged looks. Even the defense knew they'd been sliced open by a rookie they weren't supposed to fear. And this is Cleveland, a place where quarterback storylines eat themselves alive. Joe Flacco is supposed to be the steady veteran, Kenny Pickett, the comeback story, Dylan Gabriel, the shiny rookie prospect, but none of them made that throw. None of them owned the field the way Shedeur did today. Fans in the bleachers felt it too. Phones came out. Social media lit up. In an instant, the quarterback conversation in Cleveland shifted, and just when it seemed like the day couldn't get any more telling, something happened after practice that might mean even more than the touchdowns or the perfect completion rate. The field was clearing. Players were heading to the showers. Some were laughing, some were reviewing film on tablets, but Shedeur stayed behind. He stayed to work on bad snap exchanges with rookie center Brady Latham. No cameras, no coaches telling him to do it, just pure commitment to the craft. That's when it happened. Myles Garrett, the heart and soul of the Browns defense, walked over. No speeches, no grand gestures. Just a veteran taking the time to help a rookie get better. That doesn't happen by accident. That happens when a star sees something real. Fans watching from the stands saw it too. One tweeted, "When your all-pro franchise player spends extra time with a rookie QB, This rise wasn't supposed to happen this fast. The Browns' blueprint was simple. Draft Shadore Sanders, let him marinate, maybe hand him the reins a year or two down the road if things lined up. Let him carry a clipboard, soak in the playbook, learn from the veterans, and occasionally flash that arm talent when the game was out of reach. But that plan didn't account for reality. Reality being that Shedeur is too good to be hidden. He's not waiting for permission to lead. He's forcing his name into every conversation in the building. He's taking the narrative the NFL tried to hand him and burning it to the ground. And the more the Browns try to keep him in the shadows, the more obvious it becomes that the shadows can't hold him. The pressure isn't on Shedeur anymore. It's on the coaching staff. It's on the front office. Because if they don't adjust to what's happening, the city will. And Cleveland is not the type of city to stay quiet when they see a winner being benched. The whispers about bias are already getting louder. The league didn't expect this. They saw Deion Sanders' son and thought it was a marketing storyline, a jersey seller, a social media splash. They saw HBCU quarterback and assumed the leap to the NFL would humble him. They saw fifth-round pick and decided the odds were enough to keep him in his place. But the NFL's usual gatekeeping isn't holding here. Shedeur isn't chasing attention, he's commanding it. And he's doing it the hard way, with his game. No trash talk, no cryptic tweets. Just perfection in reps that were supposed to mean nothing. The most accurate quarterback in Browns camp right now? Shedeur. The calmest under pressure? Shedeur. The most consistent decision maker? Shedeur. Yet somehow he's still wearing the number of a guy they expect to sit. Why? Because this system wasn't built for someone like him to climb. He's not climbing the ladder. He's ripping it out of the wall and replacing it. Look at the history. At Jackson State, they told him he couldn't lead at a high level. He led. At Colorado, they said the competition would expose him. It didn't. And now in Cleveland, they said he'd be lucky to get reps. He's turning those limited reps into headlines. That throw to Gage Laverdane will be replayed over and over, not because it was pretty, but because it was proof. Proof that arm strength, touch, and field vision aren't things you can hide behind a depth chart. Proof that a quarterback doesn't need the perfect situation to make the perfect play. And proof that if the Browns don't give him more, someone else will. That's the reality no one in Cleveland wants to admit yet. The NFL is a league of windows, small, fleeting opportunities that close as fast as they open. Right now, that window is wide open for Shadore Sanders. Joe Flacco's experience is valuable, but it's not the future. Dylan Gabriel's potential is intriguing, but it's inconsistent. Kenny Pickett's reliability is now in question. And in the middle of all that uncertainty, Shedeur is giving them the one thing no one else has: certainty. Every ball is placed where it needs to be. Every decision has purpose. Every moment under pressure looks like a moment he's been waiting for his whole life. And maybe he has. Because for all the hype that comes with being Deion Sanders' son, it also comes with a target. The NFL doesn't like rookies who make noise. And they especially don't like rookies who make noise outside of the mold. But Shadore's noise is different. It's the kind you can't mute. It's the kind that comes from flawless execution. It's the kind that forces a city to pay attention. Watch the way the teammates respond to him. The way Myles Garrett took time out of his routine to work with him wasn't charity. It was an investment. Veterans don't waste their time on players they don't believe in. When an All-Pro chooses to spend extra minutes after a grueling practice with a rookie, the rest of the locker room notices. The coaching staff notices. The front office notices. And once that seed of belief starts growing, it's hard to kill it. The Browns are at a crossroads now. They can either lean into what's happening and ride this wave, or they can fight it and risk losing the locker room's faith, because the players know who's making the throws that matter. They know who's bringing calm to the chaos. And right now, it's not the guys listed above Shedeur on the depth chart. It's the guy wearing a fifth-round label like a badge of honor and using it as fuel. Imagine what happens when he gets more than a sliver of opportunity. Imagine what happens when the reps aren't with the second team, but with the starters. That's the moment Cleveland becomes his city. The fans are already leaning in. Social media clips of his throws are spreading beyond Browns territory. Analysts are starting to get cornered into talking about him, even if they dance around saying outright that he's outplaying everyone else.